media land. Thanks for being on. There's a lot's happened since our last conversation 30 days ago. I'm going to stay concentrated. I'm going to tell you what I feel is important. I respect your opinion that's coming on back to us, people on the street, on the ground, seeing things happen. I promise you, uh, our market is different than, say, the Bay Area or Milwaukee or Denver. We are seeing things that the rest of the country haven't seen yet, and so there's a lot of curiosity out there. There's a lot of concern out there, like, oh my god, I don't want to get like Phoenix. Our market of the moment is the market of the moment, and if you've had success of getting as a buyer's agent or a selling agent over the finish line, or managing as a listing agent 20, 30 plus offers, love to just hear your mindset, your strategy, your tactic to what you deem success, and get business closed. We do know that we have very low inventory. Sarah, if you'll go forward on the first slide, please. We have very low.
Yes.
Uh, so this was yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. We had just 2,960 active listings in all of Maricopa County. Now, we had sold 7,000 doors. That's a good number. That's a good number in the last 30 days to sell 7,000 doors. We have 10,501 under contract. So by this definition, with such a low active listing place, our absorption rate was just under 200% on March 1st. If we did this analogy, we're still going to be north of 200% absorption rate today. And so we're moving very, very fast. And so we have to pivot, we have to adapt, we have to strategize, we have to communicate and cooperate to have success. So keep doing those things, ladies and gentlemen. Our goal today is to share 30 minutes of data with you on the market, to have a positive experience for you, to arm you with conversation points and tactics that help you close business. Sarah, next slide, please. So this is the fast facts slide we wanted to update for you. So this was on the first of the month. We had 3,400 listings, 6,800 closed. Our absorption rate on the first of the month was 149. Coming soon, 632. Interest rates have started to creep up. If you're working with your lender partners, there were a couple VA loans I know that went out at 1.99%. Right now, we're looking somewhere between 2.75 and 3.5 interest rates, and they're starting to creep. And then per ARMLS at the end of the month, our average sale price 459, 355. Now that's up $60,000 from where it was a year ago this time. Up this across the board, a $60,000 increase for every average door in the Arizona regional MLS. Please.
Right. I mean, that's a huge increase for us here. It's
It is.
really amazing to see these numbers right now.
Yeah. So just real quickly, ladies and gentlemen, so what's happened to our world and our impact? So please know that Zillow is writing a check for $500 million for showing time. Please know that showing time has an acceptance rate somewhere between 87 and 93% nationwide. I'm going to venture to say that most people listening to this call use Zillow, showing time at some capacity. There is energy out there to look for alternatives, just so you know. Think of whatever brand you represent in your real estate business, from a big national company to a local national or local center of excellence. If you created a technology that allowed agents to show their property easier, and you took it to the national MLSs, you would, even though it might be terrific, you would probably have a hard time getting adoption, because the revenue that the MLS sends to you benefits you, as well as the convenience of their agent population. So while showing time is highly accepted, there's just concern out there that the profit revenue is going to a company like Zillow, and Zillow's now a broker in our marketplace. So data point there. Next slide, please. What's happening next, ladies and gentlemen? If that's not enough change, Compass has been talking for about 2 years now to go public. It looks like SoftBank, one of the biggest backers behind them, have filed for the IPO. Look for that to go out in the next 90 days or less. And again, this will be a multi-billion-dollar IPO, I'm sure. Next slide. What else is changing in our world? This just was announced 4 or 5 days, well, March 1st. In the commercial world, there is CoStar, and CoStar is the giant database that commercial agents use to research homes and things, or research commercial buildings and such. And CoStar did buy HomeSnap, and they are looking to buy CoreLogic, and they've upped their offer by 1.25 billion worth of cash most recently. They tried to buy them a number of months ago. It fell out. A couple other people came in. Stone Point, an inside offer, and now CoStar is coming in over the top with an extra 1.2 billion in their attempt to acquire CoreLogic. Now you got to know, ladies and gentlemen, that CoreLogic controls about 60% of the residential real estate data. When Landmark Title does a title search in their title plant, they're tapping into CoreLogic's database to provide that information to you as an agent. And so please know that is happening. This has just been announced on the 1st of the month. Next slide, please, Sarah. Let's get into the business at hand, ladies and gentlemen. We'll close this out in the next 20 minutes. So this is the last 2 full years, 2019 and 20, showing time average in Maricopa County in Arizona Regional MLS. And then in the far left, starting in January through the beginning of February, you're going to see a gold squiggly line that's in between those other two. And that's the 2021 weekly average. And so please know we're within range, plus or minus, of 2019 and 20, even though we don't have 4,000 homes for sale. We're still seeing a lot of viewings. Now, I know personally one of my agents was part of a 55 showing day, 55 appointments and showing time on a home, sub 400,000 in Phoenix a couple weeks ago. And that home received 31 offers within 24 hours. So the market is blistering white hot. Please know that. Next slide. This was on the 1st. We had 3,419 homes and 10,000 under contract, sold 7,142. What does that mean? Move forward, Sarah. So right now, median sale price is at 100%, but our average sale price pierced for the very first time over 100%. That red line is pierced 100%. And please know, if we looked at that today, that's going to be closer to 101. And that's for all properties across the MLS closing right now. We have not been in this territory since I've ever been an agent. Next slide, please. Here's just a quick visual trend of going from March of last year to current day. And the blue line, of course, is median, red is average. And just know we're trending up. And in the last 5 or 6 months, we've been trending up, all of Maricopa County combined, up pretty steep. We're around 220 a square foot, give or take. Sarah? This is a very important slide, ladies and gentlemen. We could stop here and talk the rest of the day. This is the actual absorption rate on the 1st of March for Arizona Regional MLS. And that number is 189.92%. We have 0.53 of 1 month supply. The blue line is the absorption rate that it wiggles across, and you see it's down in the bottom right at a very low level. And when you look at the months of supply that we're consuming, that red line, oh my, that absorption rate is just screaming ahead. Business is getting done in a very non-traditional way. Sarah? A couple key things that are happening here. This is from John Burns out of Southern California. So things that are happening in the 2021 marketplace. About 18 months ago, I heard for the very first time, builders are building homes that are going to go straight into an investor pool and be built for rent. Agents in the market right now that are traditionally resale agents and can't find a home for their buyers, they're going to new home subdivisions, and even those places are having lotteries. My tidbit of information that supports this is a lot of lotteries in Metro Phoenix, Maricopa County, you could still go in and pick your home. And that was as of last week. Please know in the bottom right of this, building products, ramp up capacity to ship. How we move our belongings from California to Arizona, from across town in Goodyear to North Phoenix. There's different ways to get that done. Next slide, or on the same slide, I'm sorry, back one, I'm sorry. The green portion of this slide, I want to just focus on this top piece that says value. What consumers are looking for, ladies and gentlemen, is value. And so just like if you're going to go out and buy a new car, I can buy this car that's standard for, I'm going to make this number up, $20,000. I could buy this car with all these features, an AM, FM, satellite radio, sunroof, camera. I can buy this car for the same amount of money, but it might not have the same name brand that the first car had. Well, if you apply that to the home buyers market, people looking for value, looking for bedrooms, bathrooms, yard, private pool, community, close proximity schools. Is it a high rise? Is it a condo? Is it a single family home? The difference is, ladies and gentlemen, that people are no longer looking in their immediate metro. They're saying, hey, I'm in the Bay Area. I can work from home. Home can be Phoenix or Park City or Durango. What can I buy in Durango that I would really love to raise my family in and still work from home in the Bay Area? And so that quick mind shift, Phoenix as a whole has great value. And that's why we're having so many people come here. Buyers are coming here and they're paying cash and they're looking down at this offer. Here's a home at $500,000. How much over asking do you think it's going to take for me to get that home, Mr. Buyer Agent? Am I have to bid 510, 520, 550, 570, and then we'll put a plan together to go out and buy that home. That is what's happening in our market at the moment. Sarah? So some of the social economic indicators for Metro Maricopa County and Phoenix proper, and this is coming from GPAC, and this is looking at 2020 on the far left and 2055. So just plop in your real estate career into here, but please know our current population is just under 5 million people in Metro Maricopa County, and our job market's just over 2 million jobs. Our job market is going to approach 4 million jobs by the year 2055, and we're going to grow higher as a community population to north of 7 million, under 8 million population by the year 2055. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's not that far off in the grand scheme of things. So just apply that to housing, investment, and where do you want to live today, because it's projected to just grow and grow and grow. Sarah? Okay, we're going to stay here for a minute. I had a nice conversation with Oleg the other day, and we wanted to look at a couple different things. So I tried to create this for this specific graph. So our total actives in all of ARMLS, this was on the first, was 4424. But in Maricopa only, it was 3421. That's line one. And just please know that of all the listings in the Arizona Regional MLS, if you just click them all, 22% were outside of Maricopa County. That could have been the White Mountains, could have been Mexico, Flagstaff, etc. But they're outside of Maricopa County. And then as you come down both those columns, you're seeing UCB, CBS coming soon, pending, and closed. What's important on those first set of lines for people to take away? Ladies and gentlemen, if we have total actives at 3421, and we take 10% of that, 340, and we have coming soon at 632, somewhere between 18 and 20% of our market is currently in coming soon. So if you have not been, please check coming soon for a place to potentially find a home for your buyer there that's not in the active or under contract accepting backup status. Now, the next piece I wanted to present to you, and this is the second half of this graph, is what was it like 2020 February versus 2021? So our closed volume was almost a mirror image. Our closed single family was even higher, and our closed townhomes were up 19%, almost 20% more townhomes closed this year in February versus last year in February. Condos, sorry for the D in there, are up 25%, and manufactured homes at 170 versus 115, up 47%. And so, ladies and gentlemen, what we've always talked about in our market center is this. The bellwether in any market is a single family home. From there, those are the first to go up and the last to go down. Second to single family home are going to be townhomes, then condos, then manufactured homes. And if there is any kind of cycle downward, traditionally it is a manufactured home that's going to go down first, then condo, then townhome, then single family. So please know we're looking for those trends, ladies and gentlemen. We watch those closely so we can provide great insight and direction for all the agents out there. Sarah? Okay, so just looking at this slide in terms of a speed dial and a fast car. We have very low inventory, we have very high demand, and we have a very low days on market. couple things to look at on the graph to the left of those, on the top left, active listings. It's just going back a couple years. We were somewhere just under 20,000 listings. Please know our market with 5 million people could handle 28,000 listings all day long. That would be a great market to play in. But it wasn't that long ago that we had almost 20,000, 18 to 20,000 listings. And it's just in the last 12 months that our burn rate has brought us down, again, yesterday under 3,000. In this graph here, it's under 5. When you look at sold listings, we have some seasonality, January through December. It looks like a heartbeat. And even with the pandemic, it's really not that far out of sync. Has there been a little bit of a flutter? Yes, but knowing that the last year has been in a pandemic, that's not unreasonable. This bottom graph and the black and the green, oh boy, when you look at the absorption rate, and that's almost hitting 200%, that's a visual at 189%. Versus our inventory, that is extreme. That is a great graph to tell you how hard it is to be a buyer's agent and how complex it is to be a listing agent. Sarah? What I've done here is now we've gone into some traditional numbers. We'll wind up here in about 5-7 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for staying along with us. So for all Maricopa County, in the blue dot, our active listings are down 60.5% from a year ago. If you follow the white line across, it says active listings, 3419 is the number. In February of 2020, we had 8647. Oh my, wouldn't we just love to have 8,600 listings to choose from today? I know I would. Median sales price, all Maricopa County, up 20.2% from this time a year ago, and days on market, just 29 days. A month of supply, 0.53 of 1 month. It's down 66%. That is all of Maricopa County. Holy cow. Sarah? Ladies and gentlemen, some numbers here. I'm going to have you focus in the blue first. The active listings under contract, sold, new listings in every stage on market. So active listings on this page, again, this is the first 3419 under contract 10204. I've said this before in this meeting, but I pay attention to the sold listing 6490. That's actually, if you look at the little green and red arrow right below that number, our sold listings were up 7% from a month ago, 6490. And if we're burning off 6490, we come down to line 2, new listings 7472. Those are up 3%. And just by, well, in this case, not quite 1,000. We have 1,000 more listings that came into the market in the month of February than we sold in the month of February. And if we can ever climb out of this, we're going to need to do 2,000, 3,000 extra listings a month to get truly out of this current situation. At the very bottom in the gray, what I'd like to have you look at is the numbers 200 to 300, 3 to 5, and 5 to 7. Those three market segments, when you see the letters STL, that is sale to list price. And so 2 to 300 is at 105 or 100.5%. 3 to 5 is at 101, and 5 to 7 is at 100.5%. Ladies and gentlemen, that represents about 72% of our monthly transactions fall into that price point, and those are all over 100% list price on average. Play accordingly. Next slide, please. Okay, I love this slide here. So this is looking at current active listings. So just going back a couple years, you're going to see the green bars and the number, and that's just under 16 in this graph. And on the far right, the low bump green, we're just under 4,000. That's reality of active listings. Under contract is symbolic. The very lowest little nub is December a year ago. Hardly anything went under contract a year ago. But if you look at the last 3 green bars on the far right of under contract, you're looking at the volume of homes that we've put under contract, even though we've had low inventory. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, business is getting done. That's what that's saying in a non-traditional way. Next slide, Sarah. We're going to turn for home here in just a couple seconds. So ladies and gentlemen, this graph here is looking at the sold listings. And what I tried to do is provide you a lot of data on one slide. So how you interpret this on this graph is this. This is all of Maricopa County, and it's pulling out from the beginning of the month in March. And what we're looking at is if we go to line 2 for the current quarter, you're showing that January, February, we closed 12,686 homes. When you come down, that breaks out the price points of the homes. So again, when you look at 2 to 3, 3 to 5, and 5 to 7, that's the lion's share of our transactions every month. Then in a graph standpoint, what you're seeing there is the price points, and that's by price. So please know this. Look at the pie graph with me. Stay on the left one first. We had 22% of our homes sell in the 2 to 300 range, and then the red is the next highest, 3 to 5, then yellow. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest increase as a percent of homes happens when you get to 700 to a million. It is up 72% for the year. When you go to 1 to 3 million, it's up 81% for the year. And when you get to 3 million and above, now the numbers aren't massive, but it's up 140%. And so please know our prices are just driving forward the wealth or buying expensive homes. Cost of interest rates are very low. Business is getting done, and that is a surge in our market. That's for all of Maricopa County. Sarah? Now, same repeat of this process again for the Metro Phoenix. I just wanted people to look at the bellwether of our Maricopa County, and it's almost a mirror image, just smaller numbers because we're now just looking at Metro Phoenix only. The speedometer dials are almost a mirror image. Next slide, Sarah. Our active listings are down 55%, not 60%. Instead of the whole Maricopa going up 20.5%, Phoenix is up 23%. Next slide, Sarah. Same thing here with the graphs. Very little inventory, yet business is getting closed. Next slide. And again, this is almost a mirror image here. Only difference here is we don't have a lot of $3 million homes in Phoenix, but the homes that are priced 700 to a million and $1 million to $3 million are up 98 and 159% respectively. It is really going high. Phoenix doesn't have a lot of $3 million homes yet. Next slide. So I said, okay, if we're having such a big increase in $3 million homes, where are they at? So if you go into Paradise Valley is only up 15% in $3 million homes. They're up, but they're not up that high. So where's the needle in the haystack? Next slide. The needle in the haystack is Scottsdale. Scottsdale 1 to 3 million is up 88%. Scottsdale 3 million and above is up 290%. That is the needle in the haystack, ladies and gentlemen. If you're selling in North Scottsdale, parts of Scottsdale, that market has become very, very vibrant. Next slide.
Isn't that crazy that, you know, Phoenix has been known for being affordable and, you know, business friendly, and where we're growing the most and where it's becoming almost commonplace now is that million and above market.
True that, true that. So in addition to that, we tried to pull the needle in the haystack out of the 2 zip codes of the Biltmore and Arcadia, 85016 and 18. And while they have begun to show up there at 3 million, they've had huge growth in the 700 to a million and 1 to 3 million. They've had huge growth there. Next slide. This is Scottsdale. Active listings are down 61%. Their average sale price in yellow is 19%, 19.2% increase in just 0.78 of 1 month supply. Next slide, please. Surprise, I just wanted to give you some texture on there. Ladies and gentlemen, their active listings are down 68%. They're up 21% in yellow across the board in 21 days of supply. Next slide. Now we take off, Sarah. I'm going to end the numbers here and take just 1 or 2 questions if they exist. If you just want to fire through the slides, what we have here, Sarah, is A to Z from Apache Junction through Queen Creek to Tullifson is when we end. As you fire through these, just know that Litchfield Park's up 30%. I don't know if the new Raptor 35 F-35 jet coming into Luke Air Force Base is showing up there, but Luke Air Force or Litchfield Park is on fire. And these are the individual cities and commentary that we have for that.
Yes. And all of those slides are going to be available afterwards. So if there's a particular city, because I know we go through them pretty fast, but if there's a particular city or area that you want that information on, just reach out to your business development manager that invited you here today, and we'll make sure to get you a copy of these slides after.
Sarah, please know this is one of the fastest 30 minutes of the month for me. There's just so much happening. I always appreciate people being on, and we appreciate your company and what you do for all of our agents, making our jobs easier. Your dependability factor is world class. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Scott. This is, I think, the most impacting 30 minutes of the month, though. The information that we get from you every month, it really sheds so much light into what's going on. And this information, this will have an impact in your real estate business. You know, knowledge is power, and that's no exception in the real estate industry, and more so than ever with that low inventory. So does anyone have any questions for Scott? I know that's always such great information just across the board. So now is a perfect time if you have any questions. If you have any questions after this class as well, please reach out to us at Landmark Title. We've got a couple participants that have raised their hands. I don't know, did you want to come on camera and ask a question, or did you want to throw it in the chat window? One of them is you, Scott.
I was just testing that out. I've never done that before.
Excellent. I can see that you raised your hand. I think Beth raised hers earlier just to kind of wave at us. Okay. So if you do have any questions, like I said, please let us know. We do this the first Thursday of the month. We're going to be bringing you some extras going forward here with Market Insights. So make sure that you're following us on social media, that we have your correct email address. If you happen to get on today as another Scott Kiburz, please send us your email address in the chat window. So if you happen to notice that you are a Scott Kiburz on camera, if you could just put your email up in the chat window, that way you can get the updates of what's going on and the info, the extra special things we're going to be doing next month. Well, Scott, I think you covered it all really well. You always do.
Yes.
So thank you, of course, to Scott Kiburz, ARMLS Vice Chair, for coming on and sharing this information. Every time I talk with Scott, I learn so much more about what's going on. And that is why this isn't market stats, this is market insights, because it's not just the facts and the figures. It is a window into the world of the Phoenix and Maricopa County real estate market. So thank you for coming on, sharing your expertise. We always really appreciate it. And thank you to all of our business development managers. They are your marketing experts. They're here to help you with whatever you need. They're here to help you with creative ideas on how to get yourself out there in this market, how to just get stuff done out there. They work with a lot of different agents. They've seen it. They know what's going on. They are your resource. They are your partners. So thank you to Beth, Becky, Melinda, Mary, Zach, Patty, and Michael. You are amazing. You help with so much more than just marketing out there for your agents. So if you are one of the lucky ones too, and you are getting your offer accepted, if you are, a lucky agent with a listing or multiple listings, please think of Landmark Title on your next contract. We're busy, we're rocking and rolling, we're getting stuff closed out there, and we'd love to partner up with you on your next deal and help you get it done. We have 6 offices to serve you across the valley. So wherever you are getting these deals done and these contracts accepted, there is a Landmark Title office to serve you. So Scott, I think we're pretty good today.
We'll sign up for now. Good to talk to everybody. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you all for coming, and we will see you next month.